Nice.
Good, really good, actually.
Good news.
Yeah.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to match number 6. Finally, we are here, the last match of the weekend. Thanks for tuning in live on YouTube for this match and all weekend long. I'm Rob St. Clair, and a big one here to wrap up the weekend, the rematch between New York's Team LVC and the Boston Bounce. Both in the win column on the weekend. LVC beating Bounce last night 3-0, but Bounce turning around this morning and beating the Chicago Icemen 3-1. So an impressive performance from the new VLA Tier 2 squad, proving that they really do belong here, which I think we all expected coming into this. But we knew it would take them a little while to adjust to the really high level of play going on here, but they've really proved themselves this morning, and they're looking to do so again. LVC, not the weekend really they were looking for so far. 0-2 against the Chicago Icemen, but they did play a nice clean match and beat this same Bounce team last night. So another win in this matchup would go a long way. This is a big deal for both teams heading into the VLA Cup next month. Lot to get to, lots of star power, lots of players that you've seen this weekend, a couple that you haven't. So we're really excited to break all that down. Bounce just about to finish their warm-up. There it is. And we will introduce the starting lineups and get right to first serve in just a second. So thanks for joining us. Stay tuned for some volleyball. Sorry? Watching? Let's see. Oh yeah, we can see. It takes a while to really update, but yesterday we were in the 700 ballpark, which is pretty good.
And today, Sunday, not so good?
I don't know for sure. Let me check. This is what I've been snacking on all day. Yeah. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Niagara Frontier Sports Center for our final VLA volleyball match of the weekend, featuring the Boston Bounce and New York's Team LVC. Let's meet the starting lineups first for the Boston Bounce. A 6-foot setter from Feeding Hills, Massachusetts, number 12, Colin Ritter. A 6'8" opposite from Cambridge, Massachusetts, number 1, Jalen Penrose. A 6'2" outside hitter from Chicopee, Massachusetts, number 17, Jeff Vautrin. A 6'5" outside hitter from Richmond, Rhode Island, number 13, Brad Borsay. A 6'9" middle blocker from Needham, Massachusetts, number 16, Skylar Kaufman. A 6'6" middle blocker from Hampton, Massachusetts, number 36, Jake Modesto. And a 5'10" libero from Hampstead, New Hampshire, number 2, Kobe Moore. Boston is coached by Bill Villa. And the home team, the New York Legion Team LVC. A 6'5" setter from Massapequa, New York, number 2, Christian Smith. A 6'5" opposite, also from Massapequa, New York, number 14, Chris Hoosman. A 6'4" outside hitter, also from Massapequa, New York, number 23, Nick Smith. A 6-foot outside hitter from Rochester, New York, number 25, Dave Evans. A 6'6" middle blocker from Burnt Hills, New York, number 8, A.J. Witkowski. A 6'7" middle blocker from Reading, Pennsylvania, number 9, John Keller. And a 6'2" libero from Cornwallville, New York, number 6, Andrew Fishman. Team LVC is coached by C.J. Dank and Jesse Walker. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to live VLA volleyball from Buffalo, New York. I'm Rob St. Clair, bringing you this final match of the weekend, match number 6, between the Boston Bounce and New York's Team LVC. LVC beat Bounce last night, 3-0, pretty convincingly. LVC utilized their strengths, their experience, their blocking, their defense, all to really string some points together on serve, but bounced back, of course, this morning, giving the Chicago Icemen their only loss on the weekend in a 3-1 win. Very impressive. So clearly this Bounce team can play, and clearly this LVC team desperate for a win. Only one so far this weekend. We are underway with Christian Smith, the setter, serving, and Jake Modesto right away, number 36 in white, registers the kill for Bounce, and they're on the board first. Number 12 in white and purple here, Colin Ritter, 6-foot setter, Wentworth Institute of Technology, by far Bounce's best server in the first match this morning against the Icemen. Boston just ran lots and lots of points in this service rotation, and this might be another one in transition here. Modesto again, picked up off the tip. Smith to Smith on the right side. Diving play by Moore, but not quite good enough to keep it alive. And talk about teams that have played together for a long time. Team LVC featuring both Smith brothers and Chris Hoosman. High school teammates, college teammates at SUNY New Paltz. And now at the professional level with Team LVC, these guys go back years. Brad Borsay on the right side. Nice high swing off the top of the block of Dave Evans and out of play. Borsay, number 13 in white and purple. For the Boston Bounce on the near side of your screen, Rhode Island native. Played in the EIVA at Sacred Heart. Good, consistent jump spin server. Ace serve, right on cue. A lot of top spin on that one. Cuts a little bit short. Outside hitter turned libero for this match, Andrew Fishman. A little bit late in reacting to that one. Moving forward, Borsay in the stat column with an ace. 2 serving 1 now. Really good pass that time by Evans. Hoosman, a really quick ball on the right side, and he puts it away. I mentioned Chris Hoosman, the connection between him and Christian Smith. They go back so many years. We've seen Hoosman as a middle before, back in Indiana in January. Playing opposite this match, really likes a quick tempo right side ball. Will force Bounce to give that a lot of respect and move blockers around with some speed. That was the captain, Jeff Vautrin, on the left side, trying to tip it out and get a piece of the outside of the block of LVC, but he missed the fingers. So 3-3 now the score. Early on here, set number 1, we of course play best 3 out of 5 sets to 25 points. You must win by 2. Vautrin that time, high, hard off the block of Hoosman, not a play. Good swing there by the Boston captain, who I had the chance to get to know on my podcast, The Deep Corner, on this same YouTube channel if you're interested. Talking about Jeff, now the head coach for both the men's and women's programs at his alma mater, LaSalle University near Boston. Keller levitating through the air and throwing that ball down out of the middle. Number 9 in white, John Keller, along with his middle blocker counterpart, A.J. Witkowski, did a phenomenal job blocking in this same matchup against the Bounce last night. Really making good, consistent, disciplined moves, taking up a lot of space, and occasionally, of course, resulting in stuff blocks. Good pass that time by Kobe Moore. First look at Jalen Penrose on the right side is dug off the block touch. Smith, who shifted over to hit out of the right back position after Hoosman made the defensive play. Nick Smith, the younger brother of Christian, the outside hitter, number 23 in white, registers the kill that time. Nice movement there in the LVC transition offense. They take the lead 5-4, with Hoosman continuing to serve, who can definitely do some damage. Great pass by Borsay. Borsay out of the pipe, clips the tape, one-handed play made by Fishman. Evans tipped off the block, picked up by the setter Ritter. Penrose a little bit out of system. Set coming from the libero Kobe Moore that time, but he puts it away against pretty much no blockers. Jalen Penrose now, number 1 in purple and white. 6'8", out of Cambridge, Massachusetts. Phenomenal collegiate career at Penn State. Been playing in A1 Germany for the past 4 seasons. Really goes after it with his jump serve, misses that time. But you will see some damage done by that man at the service line and hitting on that right pin, front and back row, all match long. Good jump spinner by Dave Evans. Handled pretty well by Borsay. Vautrin, sharp cross court, absolutely detonates. What a shot that is by number 17 in purple. He talked when I had him on the show about Bounce's team identity not being all about size. And, I mean, could have fooled me with the average size of their middle blockers and Penrose. But Jeff hit about 6'2", but really springy and a big arm. Out of system opportunity here for Smith, and he's rejected. Borsay got most of that one along with big middle blocker Skylar Kaufman. And that all started with the service pressure of Jeff Vautrin forcing LVC's offense way out of position. Smith had to challenge 3 blockers there, and he was rejected. Service there that time by Vautrin. Some good volleyball already being played here early on. Like I mentioned, Boston Bounce making their VLA debut this weekend out of Tier 2, part of the league's expansion model for adding more teams. Bounce, after really jumping in the deep end yesterday against 2 incredible teams in LVC and Icemen, have really found their footing and understand what it takes to play at this level, and that was proven this morning against Chicago in that win. Nice put away that time by Skylar Kaufman. 6'9" middle blocker out of MIT, who will go back to serve here, number 16 in purple. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Let me know in the live YouTube chat. I'm looking at it. Where you're watching from, who you're rooting for. Give me either the pink flamingo emoji for LVC or the frog emoji for Bounce. Oh, that ball's still alive. Actually, for a while it was. But eventually the big attack there from Nick Smith a little bit too good. And we noticed that in the last match against Chicago for LVC and in the matches yesterday, that Christian will set his brother Nick in any spot on the court. That includes a prominent aspect of that big attack. That was touched by the block of Smith. Continuation, Borsay rolls it over the top. Transition opportunity here. Icemen down the line. Excellent swing by number 14 in white and pink. On the far side of your screen, Chris Icemen, who's a really dynamic and unique attacker that can hit all 3 pins. Or not all 3 pins, but all 3 front row positions. Borsay challenges the seam. Diving play made by Smith. Nick Smith smartly into the block, gets it covered, but unfortunately into the net outside the antenna and immediately out of bounds. Tied up at 9 here with Colin Ritter, the Boston setter, back to serve. I mentioned how good of a rotation this typically is for Boston serving, especially against New York's rotation 1. But watch out for Chris Icemen on the left side. He'll do some crazy things in this rotation. There's one trying to go down the line. This is Penrose way out of system against 2 big blockers. Sharp cross courts and he puts it away. And that is why a team like Hersching in Germany pays Jalen Penrose the big money. Is to take out the trash and score points in situations just like that. 10-9 Boston. Going with the floater that time. Diving play had to be made by Smith to keep that alive, and the third ball couldn't be sent over by Fishman, making really 2 errors in that play. I like this serve from Colin Ritter. The little hybrid action, tosses it with 2 hands with spin and can hit it at the last second in a few different ways. The passing unit for LVC has no idea which one it's going to be until he contacts it. That time going with more of the jump spin look. Good block touch there by Borsay. Basically a free ball here for Boston. And Borsay rolled into the block, but Smith makes the play. Nice recovery by young Nick Smith. Getting back out there in his non-traditional blocking spot on the right side in rotation 1. And throwing that off-speed shot by Brad Borsay back to the floor. Smith, a good server as well. Clips the tape, handled really well by Vautrin. Penrose, sharp cross court off the block touch, and he puts it away. Just so difficult as a blocking team to stop Jalen Penrose because of how high and how far over the net your block has to be. But LVC absolutely handled this matchup last night, convincingly 3-0. Good serve there by Borsay. Perfect pass by Evans. Witkowski cross body. And a pretty good dig by Ritter, negated by a net violation by Boston. So I guess if we're feeling generous, we can give A.J. Witkowski a kill in the stat sheet as he goes back to serve there. Number 8 in white out of Endicott University. Penrose absolutely destroyed cross court. Off the foot of Christian Smith and into the side wall. Wow, how do you stop that? That's just so much fun to watch. This is Jake Modesto, middle blocker out of Stevens Institute of Technology in New Jersey. Former teammate of Dave Evans, who just passed that ball in college at Stevens. Absolutely crushed out of the middle by John Keller. Wow, that'll wake you up in the morning. Right into the chest of Modesto. And game, respect game from one middle blocker to another. Nice heavy arm from Keller that time. Icemen back to the line. LVC trails by 1, but an overpass here. Swung at right away by Evans and put away. Nice service pressure from the former first-team All-American in Division III, Chris Icemen. Speaking of collegiate accolades, we've got not 1 but 2 Division III National Players of the Year on the floor for Team LVC. Christian Smith, the setter in 2016, and Dave Evans out of Stevens, outside hitter libero hybrid in 2015. And to be an outside hitter at only 6 feet tall to win a National Player of the Year award is a ridiculous achievement. Shows you how springy and how great of a ball controller Dave Evans is. Tied up at 13 here, set number 1. Nice and competitive so far. Icemen continuing to try to extend this run. Vautrin over the top, dug easily by Smith. Transition opportunity here. Evans rolled, picked up by Ritter. Penrose can have a swing at this, tips it over. Actually, no touch there against the block and 4 contacts. 4 contacts to call against Boston. Icemen doing a nice job dialing up some pressure serving. LVC takes the lead 14-13. Perfect pass by Borsay. Kaufman in the middle, through the block, dug by Nick Smith. Icemen out of the back row, great dig by Ritter. Penrose high off the hands of Dave Evans and out of the reach of Smith in middle back, and that is a matchup to watch. As good of a player as Dave Evans is, like I just talked about, that blocking matchup of him against the massive Jalen Penrose is a big Boston advantage. And as good as Jalen is at hitting the ball down the line, you can expect to see him do that a lot against both of LVC's outside blockers. Great pass that time by Evans. Good move by Kaufman in the middle blocking. Here's Evans against 2 big blockers. High into the hands of Kaufman, out of play. There is some high-level ball being played right now. That serve by Penrose was an absolute bomb, and Evans put it right on top of the setter's head. Great serve down the line. Vautrin keeps it alive. Borsay's going to have a swing at this. Effectively a free ball here for LVC. Evans sharp cross court and right on the sideline. That ball is absolutely in. That ball is right on the sideline. That's an excellent swing by Dave Evans. Bounce arguing that call, but called correctly by our line judge and up official. That's a heck of a swing for number 25 in white for Team LVC. He goes back to serve here, now leading by 2. Another good rip working on Vautrin. Again, Kaufman has to rescue it, but that's going to end up being an ace. 2 great serves in a row to that same spot by Dave Evans, working straight down the line on the front row outside hitter Jeff Vautrin. And it has paid off. LVC taking a 3-point lead here. Same spot for Evans, but a really good pass this time by Vautrin. Penrose out of the back row. High off the hands of Keller again and unreachable by the LVC defense. We saw Vautrin score a couple points for his team on a serve his last time around. They could use it again this time. Rotation 5 receive here for LVC with Smith, the front row setter. Keller crossbody absolutely detonates. Penrose couldn't handle the heat that time. Love seeing these offenses run in system. Both these setters so smart. They like to fire it all over the court fast and accurately in a smart way, moving blockers around. Nice piece of work in the middle attack that time. This time Borsay against 2 big blockers into, I believe, the head of Christian Smith and way out of play. A common problem for a lot of these big, great athletes to have is that you jump so high that your head becomes very much in play in the blocking game. Speaking of big guys, Skylar Kaufman here serving actually a surprisingly good service rotation, typically for bounce. Nice aggressive float serve there. This is Evans on the left side, over the top of the block. Did he get the touch on Ritter? I believe he did. Yeah, that tough touch to detect there, but LVC screaming about it. Ritter admitted to the touch. Good sportsmanship there. I agree with that call. LVC point. They take the lead once again by 3, 19-16. Who is Smith going to go after serving here? Maybe it's Borsay, the front row outside. Yes, it is. Kind of a tough hand pass. This is Penrose against 2 blockers. And that is absolutely unstoppable. What an amazing piece of offense that time. High, hard, and deep, and so much heat on that swing from Penrose. Really fun to watch. Be a really nice time for a Colin Ritter service run. Pretty good hand pass there from Fishman. Low out of the middle and absolutely destroyed. Cross body by Chris Icemen in the middle. Even though he's in the opposite slot in this match, His connection with Christian Smith allows them a lot of creativity. Christian will move Icemen around in all sorts of wacky ways. Approach paths, speeds, spots on the net. It's really fun to watch those two guys kind of take volleyball offense as their personal art form. Oh, what a touch by Kobe Moore. And rolled over the top by Brad Borsay. That was absolutely incredible. Moore sliding to his left after that ball, like anticipating the jump serve. The ball deflects off the tape completely the opposite direction. A one-handed stab, pops it up with his fist right on the setter's head. Amazing play. And Borsay takes advantage. That was important, too, to keep bounce here in striking distance. Down by 2, 18-20. Good serve working down the line. Another perfect pass by Evans. Icemen, cross-court dug by Borsay. That's, yes, rescued by Penrose. Miscommunication there on the offense. Big opportunity here for Boston, but an overpass by Moore. A big mistake. Trying to chase that one down, setting it all the way to the top of the net with his hands. But a little bit too much sauce and put away on the overpass by Witkowski, I believe, who is now replaced by a service sub number 21 in white for Team LVC, James Hosley. Backup libero and younger brother of Captain Chris. Good short float serve working on Borsay. Vautrin explodes down the line on the left side, right on the sideline. Beautiful piece of offense there from Boston. The service substitute in here, number 23 in white for Boston, Alex Raskind. Backup setter and opposite out of the University of Michigan. Good left-handed jump spin serve. And he's gotten pretty good this weekend at coming off the bench and being aggressive while keeping the serve in. There's one right there. Pretty good pass from Smith. This is Icemen on the right side. Rolled down the line. Raskin makes the pancake play. Vautrin dug by Smith in the back row. Evans, high off the hands. Can Vautrin run this down? Yes, he can. Slapped over by Kaufman. Tipped over. Huge opportunity here. But Raskin slips. Is that ball up? Yes, it is. Left-handed by Icemen. What is happening here in this play? Skylar Kaufman puts it away. What a crazy rally. 2 pancake plays. The first by Alex Raskin, the service sub. And then, he would be the secondary setter, but slipped on his way in from left back. The middle blocker, Kaufman, had to make a pancake play of his own. And Boston walks away with the point. That was insane. Raskin again, really good serve. Perfect pass, though, from Evans. Destroyed straight down the line. Penrose absolutely beat by that set by Christian Smith. Brilliant work by Evans, who also received that pretty good serve. Awesome play there from Team LVC. Raskin and the Boston service sub is undone. New York back up by 2, 22-20. Good serve that time by Icemen, kept alive. Borsay can have a swing at this off the head of Keller and playable on the New York side. Big attack to Smith, but what a read by Skylar Kaufman. Incredible work by number 16 in purple. Not fooled, staying home and making that late little reach to his right to shut down Nick Smith out of the pipe, and that is a huge play. Bounce trailing by 1 with a dangerous server, Penrose, at the line. Good pass by Fishman. Evans again threw a seam in the block and down. We saw some of Dave Evans in the earlier match today, a little bit yesterday at libero, but we saw him really as a big part of the offense back in January when Team LVC played against Team Pineapple. MVP honors awarded as an outside hitter, and then one of those matches, another pancake play by Kaufman. Sharp cross court, but hit out of bounds by Jeff Vautrin. A crazy play again by Bounce, but unfortunately not taken advantage of, and now 24-21, set points coming up, but not before a Boston Bounce timeout. We will be right back for the exciting conclusion of this great set number 1 so far. Stay tuned. Set point number 1 here for Team LVC, 24-21. It'll be Dave Evans with the honors, who has been awesome so far in this set. Unleashing on that serve, high into the rafters, the pass of Borsay. Vautrin is rejected. John Keller seals the deal for Team LVC with authority. And set number 1 goes the way of the home team. The score 25-21, but really competitive and fun to watch. There will surely be some more phenomenal plays made by both of these teams. You're going to want to see it in just a couple minutes in set number 2. Set number 2 coming your way live from Buffalo, New York. Thanks for joining us here on the VLA YouTube channel. I'm Rob St. Clair. And if you're just tuning in, Team LVC took set number 1 over the Boston Bounce, 25-21, but there were some crazy plays in there. Some defense, some rallies, everything you could ask for in a volleyball match. And we are underway here in set number 2 with the set all the way across the court to Chris Huisman, who tried to tag that sideline down the line, and he did. Perfectly located by number 14 in white. Chris Huisman right on the sideline. Beautiful arm swing there. Interesting starting rotation here for Team LVC. Their first server, John Keller, in rotation 6. Good serve there from Keller, handled pretty well by libero Kobe Moritz. Penrose is rejected by Christian Smith. All 3 LVC blockers knew exactly where that ball was going for Boston. It was the tall, athletic setter Smith that got most of that one. Nice move against Jalen Penrose on the left side in rotation 1 for Boston. LVC leads by 2 here early. Pass well off the net by Vautrin. This will be Penrose again. This time just destroyed down the line. And I think the throat of Huisman, and good sportsmanship there. I don't even know how Penrose found that space between the outside of the block and the antenna. That was crazy. It feels like Hoosman just got punched in the throat. The vibe on the sidelines is kind of weird after that play. That was wild. But you don't think Penrose is going to get shut down twice in a row in just about any rotation. Here's Vautrin, the Boston captain, trying to put in some pressure, and he does. Pass well to the right side of court from Fishman, all the way across the court from Smith to Smith. Off the fingertips of Penrose and out of play. What a set that time by number 2 in white. Speaking of National Player of the Year achievements, we talked about Dave Evans earlier. Christian Smith winning that award the following year at NCAA Division III. And to do that as a setter means you are really a difference maker. One-handed set from Ritter to Kaufman, kept alive and then hammered down the line off a quick tempo bump set. Chris Hoosman again. Clearly no worse for wear after taking that shot from Jalen Penrose. And a change here for Boston, number 3 in white, Josue Castillo on the far side, in as an outside hitter in place of Brad Borsay, I believe. Penrose, sharp cross court, and that is absolutely unstoppable. What a shot. Whichever one of us here at the VLA has the job of cutting a Jalen Penrose highlight reel after this weekend is really going to have their work cut out for him. Clay Paulin, a new middle blocker, in for Boston bounce as well. Big 6'10" guy in the front row there out of UCLA. There's a kill that time on the right side for Nick Smith through the block of Castillo and out of play. (5-2) here early on set number 2, Team LVC. Smith going to unleash. Clips the tape again, handled easily by Vautrin. Castillo, good block touch, slowed down by Witkowski. Transition opportunity here. Hoosman high through the block and down. Chris Hoosman is heating up right now. Already 3 kills in this set. Responsible for 3 of LVC's 6 points. And Nick Smith continuing to serve against rotation 3 here for Boston. Castillo, Paulin, and of course Penrose, the front row options. Unleashes on that serve. Great pass that time by Vautrin. Castillo down the line, slowed down by the tape. Fishman with a bump set. Not a very good one, but Evans adjusts. Penrose, a really smart roll shot. And not a very good block move that time by Hoosman, flying through the hitting window. Getting tooled down the line, and Boston's out of a tough rotation. Overpass by Fishman off the tough serve. Big opportunity here for Boston. Castillo cross court, nice block touch. Witkowski tried to throw it down on 2. I don't think he caught the block on its way out of bounds. That is the call. Another Boston point, this time on the serve of Jalen Penrose. He is unleashing back there. Another hammer. What a pass by Evans. Hoosman high into the hands of Paulin, not a play. Nice swing that time. And given Chris Hoosman's background as a middle blocker, it's not surprising that he's an effective opposite in system, when the ball can be delivered to him fast and create some movement within blockers. But out of system is another question entirely. And I'm impressed with what I'm seeing from him so far, as that ball's in on the end line over the top of the block by Clay Paulin. This will be Castillo's first look at the service line. Vautrin to the front row for the Boston bounce. They trail by 2. Big high toss, going after it, working on Evans down the line, but he is passing the ball so well right now. Unfortunately, though, the connection there between Keller and Smith, not perfect. And Keller hits that ball out of bounds. But if I'm Boston, I am not targeting Dave Evans in serve receive anymore. The dude is passing lights out, in addition to what he's doing so well offensively. Exactly what I'm saying. Well targeted that time by Castillo. Icemen, what an arm swing that is. Almost like a sideways hook shot over the side of his head. Nice high contact. Icemen, a really unique and fun player to watch. 8-6 New York. Listen to the sound of that serve by Icemen. Vautrin! That is an absolutely elite level swing, plus a net violation. But a 6'2" guy getting up that high over and around the block and in the deep cross-court corner by a couple feet of each sideline, that is an amazing high-level swing. And he was telling me he's just a volleyball coach now. Good pass that time by Evans. This is Icemen out of the back row, down the line, and no touch off the block. A rare error for Icemen, trying to pull that one down just a little bit too much, and we're tied up at 8. This is Paulin again from the service line. Our first look at him. SoCal native, went to UCLA, but moved to Boston in the last couple years and has gotten hooked up with this bounce squad. What a stuff block that is! Colin Ritter flying through the air, the undersized setter, closing the door on Dave Evans. With authority. That was fun to watch. Honestly, a smart swing by Evans, challenging that blocker instead of the 6'9" Kaufman, but a great move by number 12 in purple that time. 2 in a row! Oh, that's actually saved. Amazing. Free ball opportunity here for Boston. Kaufman into the block of Keller. Pineappled! No way. Colin Ritter is taking over this match right now. He thought that second stuff block should have been a point. And sure enough, he pulls out the old trick out of Loy Ball's playbook. The front row right-handed deep, almost blind setter dump to the zone 5 corner, nicknamed the Pineapple. Oh, that time a good adjustment by Evans, slicing it off cross court and putting it away. Might have to get Colin Ritter in touch with Loy Ball to pay him some royalties for using his move in that fashion. Good serve by Evans, handled really well by Castillo. Vautrin again, another. Oh, ceiling almost helped LVC that time, but another incredibly high-level, high swing by Jeff Vautrin. I'm so impressed by his game. So explosive. Goes up and contacts the ball as high as he possibly can and not afraid of a blocker of any size. Here's Ritter after making those incredible front row plays, couple in a row. Miscommunication there with the offense. Big opportunity here for Boston. Penrose is roofed by Nick Smith. And a little stare down afterwards. I love seeing that. After those couple crazy plays, Boston kind of, I didn't even really talk about it that much, but they took a 2-point lead there. LVC with that stuff block back within 1, 10 serving 11. Ripped there by Keller, little underneath the ball. Well watched out of bounds by Boston. Again, they're back up to 2. Those couple plays, unexpected, but awesome from Colin Ritter. Exactly what Boston needed. Little dodgeball played that time by Fishman, not getting clipped by that serve on its way out of bounds. Good flat float serve there by Christian Smith. Nice read on the block as well of Wachowski, but covered again on the Boston side. Cross court by Castillo, out of bounds, no touch. Great work that time by number 8, AJ Wachowski for Team LVC. A really good blocking read. Shutting down a middle that's a couple inches taller than him and getting LVC ahead in that point. Another good blocking move, and it's a stuff block. Icemen and Wachowski there. And don't blink now, but LVC back in the lead now, 13-12. An awesome matchup being played here between these two teams. Smith continuing to serve, a good rotation here for LVC. Tough pass, platform set all the way outside to Castillo. Another stuff block. This time it's Witkowski up there all by himself. And I like the fact that he went up and tried to block that ball. Some teams will pull guys off when they think a hitter's in an out-of-system situation. Might as well give it a shot. Turns into a stuff block there. Another good float serve there by Smith. Got to be Penrose on the right side, and it is. Great touch by Nick Smith. Sharp cross court. What a dig by Castillo. No double contact called. Another free ball opportunity here. Icemen with the left hand. Castillo, another stuff block by LVC. They wanted a double contact called against Penrose early in that rally, but they won the point anyway. What a great blocking rotation this is for New York, and this has to be a Boston timeout, and it is. What a turnaround. The momentum totally shifted to bounce 5 or 6 points ago, now firmly back on the near side of your screen with Team LVC. Awesome volleyball being played. Quick break for the timeout. We'll be right back. Out of the timeout, LVC with a 3-point advantage. Smith continuing to serve in this pretty nice run here for Team LVC. Penrose, what a dig there by Smith, but can't quite be run down by Evans in the New York bench. Penrose went straight over the top of the block of Nick Smith that time. Kaufman here serving for Buffalo. See how aggressive he is with this floater. A little topspin on that one. I like that look. Smith on the right side. Nice high swing, but touch dug by Vautrin. Castillo rolled, dug by Fishman. Left-handed that time by Nick Smith. Boston's got to have this point. Paulin, and they do. Off the block touch out of the middle and terminated. The Boston deficit back to only 1. I like Kaufman targeting Nick Smith here in serve receive, passing and hitting out of right back. That's exactly where he goes. Really good pass that time. Witkowski in the middle. Good block touch by Paulin. Vautrin for the tie out of the pipe, but he missed it out of bounds. Just barely wide of the sideline. Good look, but in matches like this, you cannot let opportunities like that go by missed. 16-14 New York. Rotation 3 receive here for Boston. Oh, nice reach that time by Ritter. Penrose high into the hands of Icemen. Fishman makes an incredible play. Free ball opportunity here. Paulin detonates crossbody. Great free ball offense that time, and LVC is doing such a good job blocking the ball, even against the middles. But they are giving up some size to both Kaufman and Paulin, both at about 6'9". Massive individuals with some great attacking range. Here's Penrose. Clips the tape, and it's an ace serve getting the better of Nick Smith. And a nice little individual battle there developing between the two of those guys. Penrose acing Nick Smith that time. We saw Smith kind of stare Penrose down after a block a few points ago. I like seeing that. It's fun to watch. 16-16. Another hammer, and a second ace in a row by Jalen Penrose. Putting the team on his back, that time beating Dave Evans, which is an achievement in and of itself. Legendary towel boy Lance Rogers getting some love from the crowd, and we got a setter substitution here. 48-year-old, 5'6" Eric Martin, the legendary Virginia native, in to set the offense, and just that little delay enough to force Penrose into a service error. Martin going to stay in here to set this one next rotation, but then when he goes to the front row, he will likely be replaced once again by Christian Smith. Witkowski serving in a tie game. Castillo down the line, no touch. He found the little bit of space that the block left him. It was inside the sideline, but long of the end line. Yeah, AJ giving the shout out to the family watching back home. Hope you guys are enjoying the match. Paulin sprays that one out of bounds. Definitely underneath that ball. 2 points in a row now on the serve of Witkowski. With a couple hitting errors starting to creep into the Boston bounce side. A few too many to hang around with a team like Team LVC. Good serve again there by Witkowski. Paulin out of the back row, dug by Martin. Roll shot by Evans. Really good defensive play by Castillo. Vautrin out of the back row, dug by Witkowski. Smith can run this down. Martin sends over the free ball. Paulin wrist away over the top of the block, and he terminates. Nice hustle that time from Team LVC, but mercilessly put away by big number 69 in purple, Clay Paulin. Really high level of volleyball being played here between these two teams. 19-18 LVC, Castillo back to serve. Good serve right into a seam. Martin to Evans, sharp cross court, dug by Kobe Moore. Big opportunity here from Vautrin, no block up, dug by Fishman. Big attack to Smith, and a good read by Paulin, but the block touch unfortunately deflects wide on the New York side. So Christian Smith does indeed come back in for Martin to set and block in the front row. LVC clinging to a 2-point lead, approaching the end of set number 2 here. This has been a fun match to watch so far. Ritter, Penrose, cross court, Hoosman, ceiling, Fishman. Keller sends it over. Vautrin is absolutely roofed by Keller and Smith. What a defensive scramble. Now, these are not low ceilings here at the Niagara Frontier Sports Center by any means. These guys hitting the ball so hard that it's just come into play often. That time kind of a lucky bounce, and it kept LVC in the play. Down the line, Vautrin out of bounds, but a net violation committed by Christian Smith will give Boston that point, and that is a crucial one. Keeping them in striking distance here. This set far from over at 19-21. Perfect pass by Evans. Hoosman down the line, off the tape, handled by Paulin. Big opportunity here. Penrose puts it away through the seam of the block between Keller and Evans. And Boston's within 1. Hoosman out of the back row a couple times now has been slowed down by the tape, leading to Boston transition opportunities. Good pass by Smith. Keller through a seam in the block, and he terminates. I like that. Christian Smith going back to basics there. Good enough pass, just set the middle. Let him go do his thing. Huge opportunity here for Dave Evans to get some insurance. A very good server, as we've already seen. Working on Vautrin down the line. 3 blockers there against Kaufman. This will be Vautrin a little early to this ball. Swipes it into the block of Smith and gets it covered. Sharp cross court, and he puts it away again. bringing his feet all the way to the inside that time. Vautrin with a beautiful swing. Deep cross court into the deep corner. You guys think there's a reason why I named my podcast The Deep Corner? Vautrin, of course, a very appropriate guest. Ritter and his team within one. Good float serve that time. Tight pass handled by Smith. And absolutely destroyed by John Keller. What a play that time by Christian Smith, getting up as high as he can. And a perfect two-handed release. No block there to slow down Keller. And that one's going on the highlight reel without question. Again, we see the service substitute, number 21 for LVC, James Hosley. Serving for Keller and playing some defense. 23-21. Vautrin on the right side. What a dig by Hoosman. Smith high into the hands, covered on the LVC side. Oh, beautiful set from Hoosman to the outside. And Smith puts it away. What a cover. Excellent defensive work by Team LVC that time. And that brings up set point once again, 24-21. Very similar to what happened in set number one. A close competitive set with a lot of crazy plays that LVC just hangs around and pulls away late. That experience playing at this level making such a difference at this point more than any other. Penrose is rejected by Witkowski, and that's it. By the exact same score as set number one, LVC takes set number two over the Boston Bounce, 25-21, in high level and exciting fashion. Can they complete the sweep to round out the weekend? Or does Bounce have gas left in the tank? We will see in just a couple minutes when we come back with set number three. The blocks and followed by the pineapple is the coolest play I've ever seen. Your dad's losing his mind in the chat. He loves it. Set number three coming your way live from Buffalo, New York. I'm Rob St. Clair. Thanks for joining us. Team LVC up 2-0 in what has been a phenomenally fun match to watch so far. Both sets really, really competitive. But kind of a theme of the weekend in the Boston Bounce VLA debut is that as talented and well-rounded of a team as they are, there are these little tiny details about playing at this level that make all the difference in the world. Those sort of things come with chemistry, reps, practice, and in tournaments and experience. And boy, are they getting some experience this weekend with a really good showing so far, beating Chicago this morning. And competitive in this one against Team LVC, but they've got work to do to get back in this match. Looks like no lineup changes for Boston from what we saw in the last set, nor are there any for Team LVC. Hoosman starting us off on the far side. Overpass right away, and look at the placement there by John Keller. Worth the same amount as if he had pounded it to the floor. Just a graceful little set over to where nobody was in position 2. Another good serve by Hoosman. Nice pass by Moore. Kaufman is rejected by Keller. And 2 points in a row for the big LVC middle blocker, John Keller, who really hasn't played volleyball much at all in the past year, maybe more, for obvious reasons with the COVID pandemic. But not missing a beat this weekend, especially in the blocking area. Such a fine-tuned and hard thing to do. And Keller has not lost even half a step in the blocking game. Very impressive to watch. This is Colin Ritter going with the float aspect of the hybrid that time. Keller cross body, and he's 3 for 3, scoring all of his team's points in this set. Love seeing middle blockers get involved and get rewarded for all the hard work they put in behind the scenes with points on the scoreboard. Nice rip that time by Evans. Pass well off the net. Castillo to Penrose. Oh, and he gets away with it somehow. Unbelievable. Jalen Penrose with the left hand inside the block of Keller and down on the LVC side. Kind of a funny play that time. Boston sides out even despite this tough serve, and Jeff Vautrin captain back to the line. Good hand pass there by Fishman. Smith to Smith down the line. What a dig by Ritter. Oh, Vautrin with the diving play. Not quite able to pop that one up in the air. Let's see if Keller can continue his little scoring run from the service line. Pretty easy serve handled by Castillo. This is Penrose on the right side down the line. And an absolutely beautiful inside-out wrist-away swing by big number 1 in purple, Jalen Penrose. Kaufman serving here for Boston, down by 1. I like that serve a lot. Tight pass. What a play by Christian Smith. My goodness, that's just awesome. Front row setter fully within his rights to go up and throw that ball down on 2 if he wants. But he had options there. He could have one-handed set that ball if he wanted to, but opts for the flashy little reverse dump. Love that play. Castillo, sharp cross court. And that dude still at 31 years of age from New Jersey absolutely levitates. Penrose here had a little string of aces in the last set. Let's see if he can do it again. That's a good rip. Handled really well by Nick Smith. Inside set to Hoosman. You have got to be kidding me. Wow. The 32 ball in rotation 1 turned back to his left and bounced straight down inside the sideline. That is outrageous. Yeah, we don't even need to tell you that that's going on the highlight reel. You already know. Ooh, that ball almost cleared the tape there from Nick Smith, but not quite. Josue Castillo here. See who he targets. There really aren't many weaknesses. Hardly any in this Team LVC serve-receive unit. Going at Smith that time. Really well handled. Witkowski crossbody. And as big as Clay Paulin is, middle blocker there for Boston, unless Bounce gives him some help with another blocker, the middle attackers, Smith and Keller, are just going to be unstoppable with the range that they have and with how good Christian Smith is at putting the ball where they need it. Penrose on the right side. Nice high swing that time. Deflects off the arms of Keller and out of play. A very similar battle here to the last two sets. Tight early on. No team either able to get a lot of separation in either direction. What a cross-body shot that time by Keller. And that's exactly what I mean. The size of that blocking matchup doesn't matter, even though Kaufman is massive at 6'9". Both Keller and Witkowski with so much range that you need more than one blocker to stop them. Vautrin, an incredible high, deep swing again. This guy absolutely came to play this weekend. Ditching the coaching polo in favor of these incredible Boston Bounce jerseys. Getting back in the court and is absolutely balling. So impressed by Jeff and his team this weekend. Keller again, wrist away. And Kaufman and Paulin, as big as they are, just, it's weird that they're non-factors in the blocking matchup one-on-one against LVC's middles. But even in general, you don't see Boston lighting it up in the block column in the stat sheet. Tight pass. What a play that time by Ritter. Opportunity here for Smith. High off the hands. Really good positioning by Castillo. Vautrin is absolutely clamped by Nick Smith. Straight down stuff block. Against Vautrin, hitting on the right side in rotation one. And just as I say, neither team able to create a lot of separation. Here it is. LVC 10-7. Now with a little bit of a cushion. Oh, Evans barely fails to clear the tape that time. Again, who's Vautrin going to target, or is he just going to go hit his best serve? Wow, talking about hitting your best serve, man. That is absolutely untouchable. Look at the side-to-side movement. Got a great look at that with our baseline camera. You can see how far across the LVC passing unit that thing moves. That was vicious from Jeff Vautrin. Let's see if he can do it again. Similar serve, handled really well this time by Evans. Smith, high off the fingertips of Jalen Penrose, and he puts it away. Nice, high, smart swing. Had absolutely no intention of hitting the court that time. All he wanted was the fingertips of the bigger blocker, Jalen Penrose, and he got him. 11-9 New York. Jump serve coming from Keller. Short, working on Kobe Moore. Pretty good move to pass that ball up. Castillo down the line off the tape again. Smith to the pick. Evans, really good dig there by Moore. Oh, a beautiful roll shot by Josue Castillo. Just out of the reach of a falling A.J. Witkowski's fingertips. And Alex Raskin here out of Michigan going to come back in to serve for his high school teammate Skylar Kaufman. We saw some wacky plays serving and defensively last time Raskin came in set number one. Let's see what he's got, the left-handed jump spinner. Handled by Hoosman in the back row, barely rescued by Smith. Opportunity here for Boston. Penrose on the right side. Off the block of Smith and out of play. That ball hammered off the outside hand by Jalen Penrose. And a really good serve that time by Raskin. Created some indecision. It ended up being Chris Hoosman, the opposite for LVC, who passed that ball. Tied up at 11. Another good serve, this time handled by Fishman off the tape. Evans, nobody up. And even though that ball hit into the net, a net violation by, I believe, Clay Paulin of Boston Bounce. A big mistake that time. Because I think the service sub's going to be undone here. Yeah, yes, it is. That's a big break for Team LVC. A pretty good look at that big attack by Evans. Missed low into the net, but the net touch by Boston lets New York off the hook. Good pass by Vautrin. All the way outside to Castillo. One-on-one, tipped into the block of Hoosman. Smith diving. Touches it, but can't keep it alive for long. Tied up at 12. And the gym's going to love this. LVC middle blocker Lance Rogers, who everyone knows and loves, taking on the elite level towel boy role in this match, flying around over there with that orange towel. Penrose here looking to break the tie. Good hooking serve, similar to the one Vautrin hit earlier. Another inside set to Icemen in rotation one. He detonates it wrist away this time. I was talking earlier about the creativity, the artistry of the LVC offense specific to Christian Smith, his brother Nick, and Chris Icemen. High school teammates, college teammates, been playing together forever. They have so many wrinkles and options in their offense. Wow, Clay Paulin straight over the top with pretty much 3 blockers. That is absolutely unstoppable. Great pass there, too, by Boston. (13-13). Good rip that time by Castillo, slowed down by the tape. Witkowski crossbody. Totally fooled the block of Paulin, and Penrose couldn't make the defensive play. Ace serve. Float service ace right on the end line. I think that was A.J. Witkowski. Yes, it was. And the longtime LVC middle blocker into the stat column in the ace category. Perfect pass by Moore. Paulin absolutely crushed on the back one crossbody. Nice offense there from Boston. And we saw Paulin be pretty much unstoppable offensively in that trip through the front row just now. We'll see if Ritter feeds him more when he's up there. Boston down by 1. Little confusion on the passing unit there. This is Icemen on the right side, down the line. Paulin in a pretty good spot, but can't pick it up defensively. And a 6-2 substitution going to come in here. Number 24, Ryan Carty, a backup middle blocker, actually going to come in and play opposite. And the backup setter, Eric Martin, who we've already seen a little bit, going to set the offense for these next three rotations. Good move by Carty right off the bench. Him and Keller deflected back onto the Boston side, but Penrose misses it short into the net. Four best-of-5 matches in 2 days is a lot of volleyball. Fatigue is a factor. Make no mistake about that. It might be getting to Jalen Penrose right now with as important as he is to his team. Nice shot that time by Vautrin, plus a New York net violation. Here's Ritter in what is traditionally a very good service rotation for Boston Bounce throughout the weekend. Let's see who he goes after, if he can string some points along. Good serve. This is Evans on the right side, right down the line. Dug really well by Moore. Vautrin tipped over the top. A diving Martin makes the play. Evans again. Effortless looking dig there by Ritter. Penrose against 2 blockers. Rolled over the top. Still alive. Carty is rejected. But a net violation. New York takes the point. Either Kaufman or Penrose touched the net that time. Called right away by both officials. I didn't see it. But LVC is celebrating. And that was a crazy rally that it seemed like Boston was going to win, but they do not. Penrose chatting to the official about something that happened previously in that play. That's a big swing in momentum and in points now. 18-15 New York. Good serve there by Evans. Perfect pass. Kobe Moore. Kaufman thrown to the floor on the 31. Martin can't make the defensive play. Vautrin had that vicious thumb-up hooking ace last time around. His team trails by 2 and down 2 sets to none. Could really use one of those here. Pretty good move there, passing by Fishman. Connection not there between Martin and Keller. Kaufman wrist away. Nice play there by Fishman. What a bump set by Evans. Oh, but Smith sprays it out of bounds on the left side for New York. And a big point for Boston on the serve of Jeff Vautrin. Vautrin again, his team trails only by 1. Misses it out of bounds that time. Boston still very much within striking distance here. (19-17) New York, as James Hazard, the service sub, comes in again for Team LVC to serve and play some defense. Penrose, one-on-one right side. What a dig by Martin. Unbelievable play. Does he go right back to him? No, big attack to Vautrin, and he sneaks it through the block and down on the New York side. That was a heck of a dig by Eric Martin at age 48. But Boston puts it away anyway, the second time of asking. Service sub undone. Now Martin, Carty, Witkowski, and Nick Smith in rotation 3 offensively. Good high swing there by Nick Smith in between the arms of Jalen Penrose. And now the original setter opposite combo will come back in for Team LVC. Christian Smith and Chris Hoosman. With a narrow lead, 20-18, can they keep their foot on the gas and win this match? Good rotations here for New York blocking-wise. You've got Castillo, Paulin, and of course Penrose in the front row for Boston. Castillo detonating sharp cross court. That's a beautiful swing. Not sure if that was inside the middle blocker or between the two blockers. But a nice smooth look inside out just what the doctor ordered for Boston, and puts their best player on the line serving, trying to make a difference. Really went after that one, pulled it down just a little bit too much and caught the tape. So a sigh of relief for New York, as they're now 4 points away from a weekend-ending sweep here in match number 6. Good pass that time by Jeff Vautrin. Penrose high into the hands. Can Smith run it down? No, not quite. Another high, hard terminal swing by Jalen Penrose. That'll put Castillo back at the line, trailing only by 1. But where is Boston going to get a point on serve, and in what way? LVC's side out has been so good lately. Great pass again. Hoosman high into the hands. The diving Penrose can't quite keep it alive. Another kill for number 14 in white for Team LVC, and the margin is the same here, effectively kind of 1.5 points. Vince in the chat, I totally agree. Now or never for bounce. This is it. They've got to make this run right about now. Vautrin hits it out of bounds down the line, and that's the exact opposite of what they needed. Good look at it, just kind of the classic double cross. And Boston coach Bill Villa calls a timeout here, now down by 3, 23-20. Needing something pretty special out of this timeout to avoid the sweep. I want to thank our sponsors really quick. Swish Live, our live stream platform. This is literally just an app on an iPhone that you're using to see this camera, scoreboard, overlay, the whole thing. Been great to have them help us out with our broadcast this season. Smack Sportswear, our apparel provider. Look how good these two teams look. Gotten a lot of compliments on the Boston jerseys. LVC, of course, with the Flamingos. Shout out to Smack Sportswear. and then Mikasa, the official volleyball of the VLA. Can Boston complete this comeback from down 20-23 to avoid the sweep? Witkowski serving out of the timeout. Perfect pass by Vautrin. Penrose out of the back row, a little underneath that ball, and kind of underhands it, and it goes out of bounds. So the misconnection there in a pretty crucial moment. And now 4 match points for New York. Witkowski with the honors. Float service ace, and that's it. AJ Witkowski ties a bow on this weekend with a float service ace, and the New York Legion beats the Boston Bounce for the second day in a row. 3-0. They finish their weekend 2-2. And that was a fun way to conclude the weekend, you guys. Awesome volleyball between these two teams. So impressed with the level, the competitiveness, the endurance, playing 4 matches in 2 days for each of these teams. And it's just been such a treat to watch and broadcast for you watching at home. Thank you for tuning in all weekend long and in this match. If you're not already subscribed to this YouTube channel, hit that button right now. It should be a big red button that says subscribe. Helps us out a lot, and make sure that you don't miss any of the content that the VLA has coming. All sorts of highlights going to be pumped out after this weekend of volleyball and leading up to the matches at the VLA Cup. That is the next thing to look forward to, a gigantic 12-team tournament at Loy Ball's gym in Northeast Indiana the 3rd weekend of May. A lot to look forward to there. Both of these teams will be there along with the Chicago Icemen and so many others. Check out our Instagram and our website for so much more content about that. Links in the description of this video. I'm going to get a couple Team LVC guys to hear their thoughts about the match and about the weekend. And then that will do it for us from Buffalo. Thanks for you guys for tuning in. Let's hear from the victorious Team LVC. Well played, my man.
Thank you.
Christian Smith, ladies and gentlemen. What a match. Like, I know that was a 3-0, and some 3-0s are lame. That was not one of them.
No,
that was a fun, like, thrilling 3-0 where all kinds of crazy plays were made. So there's a lot to break down about that, about the whole weekend. First of all, you and Icemen, man. That ball that he bounced on the 32 crossbody, it was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I know you guys have been playing together forever.
Yeah.
But what's, like, the key to the creativity, like almost the artistic aspect to the way that you guys run offense when you're there together?
A big thing is trust, first and foremost. He trusts that I'm going to put the ball there, and he also will make adjustments based on where the ball is. You always want to have that trust for whoever hitter you're playing with. So, obviously, it was a little bit slower against the Icemen in the first match of the weekend, but we really bounced back and kind of found our groove. And we just talked about it, actually, that against the Icemen, we really didn't respond well after a big point or maybe one, like, error in service or something. But against Boston, we responded right away. And that doesn't just mean we got a kill right away. It was we were patient throughout the rallies, and then we, accelerated from there, which was really nice.
Yeah, the margin of like the difference between a 3-0 and an 0-3 at this level is so slim.
Correct.
And Boston's learning that in a big way this weekend. But there's a certain aspect of detail that is fascinating to me about teams like you guys and the Icemen and Boston at times, that you're able to make these tiny little plays that mean everything in a match. Serve, receive, defensive plays, and then turning those into points. Like the space that you take up blocking. All that stuff is so high level and it's so fun to watch. So when you're playing the same two teams multiple times in a weekend, how does that affect how you approach it kind of strategically?
I think as a setter, like creativity-wise, you want to really try to isolate as many people as you can. But as you said, we played the same teams twice this weekend, so there's a bit of familiarity. So our goal, like when we talked with CJ, was just to kind of isolate. The Bic was the Bic was working really well against the Icemen. It was kind of opening up. It wasn't about just obviously running it, but it was about establishing it early so they would have to respect it and then kind of put up a double or triple on them. And then against a team like Bounce, we kind of saw that they were spread blocking on our middles a lot. So it was to feed the middles early and often. That'll open up our other pins. So just kind of identifying that against a specific team, what the different strategies are.
I noticed that exact same thing, about how they were defending middle attack, because they would never help with another blocker. And even though like AJ and Keller are shorter than those giants, they were able to hit every shot they wanted to hit.
Right.
And that was cool. And like you guys clearly noticed that as an aspect of what you were doing. So tell me about your background of playing with your brother, playing with Nick, because he's a baller. I hadn't seen him play before this weekend, and you seem to really trust him the same way you trust Hoos.
Yeah.
I assume that goes back a long way, just like it did with your buddy that you played with in high school, but with your brother, it's a little bit of a different thing. So what's that like?
Yeah, I mean, there's just like an expectation coming from our family of just competitive nature at all times. So he, obviously, I think you guys could see how competitive he is. So he really wants to win, no matter what the circumstances are. And it's great because we could have open communication about different things on the court, and that makes it really easy to play with one another. We obviously played at New Paltz together, but weren't really on the court together. But now playing with him, obviously it's awesome. We trust each other, and it's really great because I think the other guys on the court feed off our energy at times and see how excited Nicky gets, and they loved it. So they really enjoyed it this weekend.
Yeah, he was a great pickup for you guys. I'm excited about that. Evans was a baller.
Yeah.
Both middles ballers. Koosman at opposite was great.
Yeah.
Bringing in like E and Cardi and whatever.
I mean, I want to touch on those two.
Yes,
the
yes,
contribution that like E made this weekend, like his plus minus throughout the weekend was incredible.
Outrageous.
And in like really, really tough spots when it's like 18-all and things like that. Like the defensive plays he made and the selections he made were just they were phenomenal, like really inspiring to our team. So
that's why you keep him around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's just the man. Yeah. So I don't know. Wrap up the whole weekend. 2-2 is not ideal.
Yeah.
But there's still so much work to be done and like things to look forward to in the season. VLA Cup most notably.
Right.
So getting some more pieces added into the mix. What's kind of the wrap up for you as setting this whole weekend long?
Yeah, I think this weekend was a lot of like figuring out kind of our identity. We added, as you saw, Nicky, Amir, Dan, a couple other pieces. Great pieces.
Yes.
For one, Amir and Dan were a blast to play with as well. It's just becoming familiar with them and their tendencies and the communication was fantastic. So obviously it's a tough 5-set loss to Chicago, and we would love to have that one back. But you move on, you learn from it, and you kind of build and put as a notch in your belt for the VLA Cup and try to build for there.
Agreed. Well, you guys delivered some killer content all weekend. It was a blast to watch. The people online are loving it. You guys are great. I loved it. So congratulations on a good weekend, Christian.
Thanks for everything.
Thank you, man. Yeah, so we'll see you in Indiana, I hope.
Yeah. A couple wins. 2-3 weeks.
Something like that. A lot of work coming up to that and a lot of things to be excited about with so many teams.
Yeah.
So much volleyball.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be fantastic.
All right, dude.
Thanks a lot, Rob.
Congrats,
Thanks for
man.
everything. Take care.
Hey, E, you want to come talk to me? I would like that. Eric Martin, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, so the people on the stream believe me. How old are you?
48.4.
Not kidding, guys. Do you see him flying all over the court making defensive plays at age 48? It's awesome. I was just talking to Christian, and he was really praising what you brought to the team this weekend. And, like, you understand what your role is. You come in, you serve, you play defense, you set for 3 rotations. It's awesome. So what is it about having a guy like you on a team, any team, that is so valuable to Team LVC?
Sometimes we get into a rhythm, and when the rhythm's not there, you kind of need that little bit of a spark or just a wake-up. And, being familiar with some of the players, being here with LVC for, almost 10 years, or something like that, you just have that common trust. And regardless if you're successful or not, it's like riding a bike. All of a sudden it clicks and everything's running, on all cylinders. So for us, it just adds that extra spark, kind of sets the ship in the right direction, and then once I'm out, they can take it away and go win the sets, So Christian does an unbelievable job of dealing the ball.
How good is that dude?
It's sick. It's awesome to watch. But be able to help him out, give him a little breather, do it like you said, do my job.
Right. So CJ was telling me yesterday when I was talking to him about the idea of coaching for Team LVC doesn't just come from the dudes wearing polos. It comes from all of you guys that have been there forever. Yeah. Hosley, of course, he'll get in ball when he needs to or when he wants to because it's his team, but he'll be so involved and so engaged on the sidelines the whole time. And a team like that, where you guys have been playing together forever, that makes all the difference in the world. And we've seen all weekend long that the margin between winning and losing at this level is so slim. So, I don't know. Is it just something about the LVC culture? You just all love flamingos really very much? Hey, CJ.
I'll see you.
We love everybody but this guy. No, we really love you.
Love you, CJ.
No, it's the culture, right?
Yeah.
We all have guys with lots of experience. We're all trying to not step on toes, but at the same time, we're being like, I feel like we're being at least transparent enough to say, hey, here's some ideas.
Right.
And then we all kind of say, you know what, your idea is pretty good, or maybe not this time, but that's something we'll put in the backlog or whatever. So it's just it's a team thing. It's a team thing from everybody. So, we've got guys that are college coaches, so we want to make sure everybody's opinion gets heard, and he's got the last word. And, we kind of like whatever he says, we do, so. But it's a team effort, coach, when it comes to the coaching. We, they know what they want to do. They ask if we're cool, and then we go.
Yep. It's easy to see the difference that makes, too, and just the way the volleyball on the court is played out. So this was a sick weekend. It was great. Not only just like the on-court product I thought was fantastic, but just getting to hang out with everyone again felt really good. We always enjoy that.
Way too much. Yeah, way too much. Yes, that's half the reason why I still loved. I love the guys. I love the community. I love everybody here in the VLA. Everybody gets along. We all have a good time on and off the court. There's a lot of chirping, but it's a lot of fun chirping, and that's the best way to do it. There's no malice per se. It's just we're going to get on you and give you a little razz, but for the most part, we all love each other, so that's important.
100%. It's what the league is all about. It's what we love so much about it. Just the interactions between the teams, between the net, and then whatever else we're doing all weekend long. That's why we keep coming back to it, huh?
It's addicting. It's so much fun, and we'll keep doing it until the product gets even better and better. Right? We're here for the long haul.
Well said.
Yeah.
Great weekend, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
Congratulations.
Good job as always.
Thank you, of course.
Yeah, we'll
see you.
Everything you do.
Thank you, man. We'll see you in Indiana. It'll be an awesome time.
Can't wait, man.
More of the same.
Yes. All right, bud.
Thanks, bud.
Take it easy.
All right, stream. That'll do it for us for the weekend. 6 phenomenal matches of volleyball. Chicago 3-1, LVC 2-2, Boston 1-3. So very competitive, top to bottom. Some incredible moments, some new stars, some storylines. Obviously, Boston Bounce's debut was a huge success. We're so happy with how this weekend turned out, and we thank all of you for watching all 6 matches all weekend long. So, like I said, the next thing to look forward to is VLA Cup. Follow us everywhere there is on the internet for a lot more information on that. And until the middle of May, I'm Rob St. Clair, and I'll see you guys later.